Welcome to The Explainer. There's so much noise out there about what to eat, right? Keto, vegan, paleo, it's just endless. Well, today, we're going to cut right through all of that. We're going to find one simple, powerful truth about how our bodies are actually designed to eat. This isn't about what's trendy, it's about what's true for you.
All right, section 1. Wolf, cow, or something else? Let's dive in and unlock some secrets about your own design.
So here's a simple question for you, but the answer is pretty revealing. And the best part? We don't have to guess. We can just, look at the internal hardware that we're all working with, us and some other animals.
Okay, take a wolf. Its whole system is built for speed and power, right? It's got these sharp teeth, a short intestine. The whole setup is designed to process meat and fast. But a cow? Totally different story. Flat teeth for grinding away, and this super long complex system that's basically a fermentation tank for tough plants. We're talking two completely different machines, built for two completely different fuels.
So where do we fit in all this? Well, this is what makes us so unique. We've got a mix of both. Some sharp teeth, some flat ones. And our intestine length, it's right there in the middle. See, we're not specialists like the wolf or the cow. We're generalists. We are true omnivores, literally built to handle a bit of everything.
Okay, on to section 2, your body's internal plumbing. To really get a handle on this, we're going to use a simple but really powerful metaphor.
We often think of our digestive system as this mysterious black box, right? But one expert gastroenterologist put it perfectly. Forget all the complexity for a second. At its absolute core, your digestive system is just a long tube with accessories. That's it. A tube running from entry to exit.
But of course, that tube doesn't work all on its own. It's got these vital accessories. Think of them like specialized little factories on the side of the main assembly line, each one producing something crucial to help the tube do its job.
And the liver's role here is just fascinating. It's basically our built-in survival kit. It stores about a day's worth of quick energy, glycogen. That's the reason you don't just keel over and faint if you happen to miss lunch. But get this, it also holds on to essentials like vitamin B12 for up to 2 years. That's an incredible buffer, built right into us by evolution.
All right, section 3, the great stomach myth. Let's talk about what we so often get wrong about, our most famous digestive organ. So there was this old joke they used to tell in medical school, kind of designed to make the students blush, but the real answer isn't what you might be thinking. It's the stomach. And this one fact tells you almost everything you need to know about its true purpose. Yeah, 10 times. This incredible elasticity, this ability to expand that much, is the single biggest clue to what the stomach's primary job really is. It's not an accident, it's a design feature with a very specific evolutionary purpose. Just think about that for a second. Your stomach can go from the size of like half a coffee cup to a big soda bottle. That massive expansion isn't really for digestion. Its main job is to be a temporary holding tank. From an evolutionary perspective, this was huge. It lets you eat a big meal quickly and then get out of there before another animal could come and snatch it away. But that raises a pretty logical question, doesn't it? If the stomach is basically just a storage pantry, then what's all that powerful acid doing in there? Well, its real role is probably different from what most of us have always assumed. Turns out your stomach acid has 2 main gigs. First, think of it as a security guard. It's disinfecting your food, killing off any harmful bacteria or microbes you might have eaten. Second, it's a prep station. It doesn't actually digest the proteins, it just unfolds them. It gets them ready for the real digestive process that's going to happen later on, further down the tube. Okay, let's move on to section 4, the one true rule of eating. Now that we know how the system is built, it's time to cut through about a century's worth of confusion.
I'm sure you've heard this one a million times. To be healthy, you need to eat 5 or 6 small meals a day, right? Keep that metabolism burning. It's one of the most common pieces of advice out there, and it's been repeated for decades like it's the golden rule of health.
Well, what if I told you that's just a 100-year-old myth? According to the science and our own biology, it's just wrong. This is one of those persistent myths that was actually born from hospital logistics, not from understanding human biology. Yeah, seriously. The origin of this rule really tells the whole story. It wasn't designed for your health or my health. It was invented way back in 1929, simply as a logistical solution to make it easier for hospital staff to feed hundreds of patients on a predictable schedule. That's it. A nearly century-old scheduling tool got mistaken for a universal health principle, and we're still talking about it today.
So, if the frequency of meals doesn't really matter, what does? Well, it comes down to just one thing: the total daily quantity of food you eat. For an average adult, we're talking roughly 1.5 kilograms of food per day. Now, that total is made up of carbs for energy, protein for building, fats for hormones, and of course, fiber. The crucial insight here is that how you break up that total, whether it's 2 big meals or 3 medium ones or whatever, is way less important than just hitting that right overall amount.
And inside that 1.5 kilos, there's one component we've got to talk about: fiber. Fiber is fascinating because it's basically indigestible. It just passes right through that long tube without being absorbed. And its job? It acts like your body's internal garbage bag, collecting all the waste and carrying it out of the system. Without enough of it, well, the whole system can get seriously backed up.
So that brings us to our final section, your 1-week challenge. It's time to take all this knowledge and actually put it into action.
So here's a super simple one-time experiment you can try. And look, this isn't about starting a diet or anything like that. It's just about collecting your own personal data. The challenge is this: for just 7 days, get a food scale and weigh all the foods you eat. The only goal is to find out what your daily average total actually is. Now, why would you do this? Because honestly, most of us have absolutely no idea how much we're actually eating. This 1 week of data, it's going to give you a personal baseline. And that might be the single most important piece of information you can have to start making choices based on what your body really needs, not just, based on old habits.
Because in the end, it all boils down to this one question: are you eating based on your actual biology, or are you just repeating a 100-year-old myth without even realizing it? Once you know your numbers, you can move beyond the myth and into your own reality, and you'll finally have that one piece of information your body has been wishing you knew all along.